his head, and there he goes. Abyss gonna clean him up.
Olaf goes down. Everyone's just gonna line up here for Lazzy. He's gonna find himself the Quadra. Give it to him. Pentakill.
Priestley with the quad feed.
Gets the ace. Available, just spin to win all over.
That game was insane.
Welcome back. We're getting into game number 6, and the Saints have themselves a change of strategy. Not going off towards the salty sands this time, but we're actually looking to get right in the midst of the skirmish, it looks like, as they're dropping right into Lazy Lake. Game number 6 here tonight out of a possible 10 if they can squeak a bunch of games in and go guns blazing of sorts. No matter what, the tournament does complete, well, not the tournament, but the session ends at 11 o'clock, and at least here, it's 10:22 for me, so time is ticking for the Saints. As much as they probably want some victory royales, they really need to find themselves a bunch of eliminations to jumpstart them back towards the top. I do believe after that last game with 2 games in a row of being rather weak in regards to eliminations, they did drop back down the board a little bit. I think they're around like 15th or something right now, according to the in-game client. So, of course, still a very solid position, don't get me wrong. But I know they want to get back into that top 5. And then a very odd spot here for St. Clair. If they dropped into Lazy Lake with the intention of getting themselves into some early gunfights, well, there hasn't been anything here so far. I mean, at least the drops in regards to supplies have been solid in their defense, because normally they would go for that transport truck that would instantly give them 100, right? So that wasn't guaranteed. They very well could have been sitting there without shields if the drops did not go their way, but thankfully for the Saints this time by, it definitely did. And this time we do have about 80, or there was about 80... maybe 90 teams, or not 90 teams, but 90 players in this one, so a much fuller lobby as well. And we may very well have ourselves an engagement and a little bit closer to Junie and Lazix. We're going to see Siri make his way up, and Junie getting peppered from the side. Shot coming out here from Siri, going to put a little covering fire onto his teammate so that Junie only takes a tiny bit of shield damage. Oh, playing a little bit of peekaboo, a little bit of whack-a-mole here right above the lip of that roof. But now, Saints find themselves in an engagement, but of course, Lazy Lake is kind of in the middle of everything. It is going to be in the safe zone, so they at least have that going for them. They can take this engagement a little bit slower. However, they have to watch out. There is, of course, other teams that are probably going to collapse in onto Lazy Lake at some point. Siri, oddly enough, going to be taking the sniper rifle to the underground. Only has 4 bullets left in it. Needs to find the chance, find it, and make it count. He's going to spot the player, but can he get the shot off? He's going to take a chance. He does get the jump on them. That player did not have shields, so he's probably down to about half health at this moment. But there is more than one player. Lasix here for the reinforcements, and they are going to be able to find one. Can they find the other? They're going to try and get the finishing blow onto one. They are going to be able to exactly do so. I believe they found another player right here. They're going to mow him down as well. What about the third? They're going to find all 3. A good, solid start here for Saints going into Game 6. A little bit messy, but they made it work. They're going to get themselves at least 2 eliminations credited to themselves for that one. Of course, your prediction here for game number 6 after the Saints fall out of the after the Saints fall out of the top 10 for the first time all night, I believe. That is going to be a prediction here again, as Junie does get jumped on, but Siri's right here. He's going up against 2. He might have bitten off a little bit more than he can chew. One of the members, however, are down but not out. Lasix is going to come around, though, and save both Junie and Sirius, as that could have been absolutely brutal. Low-key, with the way that commentary started off there, I thought I was able to start dropping some bars, but instead, we are going to see both Chun-Li's getting themselves KO'd here. Took me aback for a second. I forgot that skin was in the game. Hey, one of the nice things about esports at St. Clair, however, though, is if there is a game that you want to start a team for, you definitely have the opportunity to do so through the St. Clair Esports Club. Majority of the teams nowadays get started off as student run, and then once they show or get shown that they're obviously super serious about it and doing a good job organizing things, and you may be picked up elsewhere. I was gonna say, starting a or as I'm talking about that, starting a club team but get denied. Okay, screw it. Just do it without their permission. You have my blessing. So a much different start here for St. Clair. They have themselves 5 eliminations already, so it's going to be 10 bonus points at the minimum so far here in regards to eliminations. Now, they have themselves a care package. What can we find here today? And oh, too bad it wasn't about legendaries, because there it is. That's going to be the legendary heavy assault rifle coming into the pocket for Siri. And it's going to be a little bit different. I've been so used to the Saints taking the transport into Salty Sands and then that rotation. But this time, of course, much different game. We're going to see them go through Retail Row for what feels like the first time all night. Seems rather quiet. And extremely quiet portion now that the initial skirmish had happened, but now the Saints are going to have to be on the move as the storm is not going to do them any favors this time by. And then how about this here? We do see Siri, of course, sniper rifle, locked and loaded. Finally has a little bit more extra ammo with it. 20 shots compared to the 4 he had earlier. Up on the high ground, has the bird's eye view of everything here. Does spot some players up on the high ground, right on the tower itself. Can he find himself a shot? This is a pretty long shot. And actually, from behind, Lasix is going to get himself jumped on here. Junie is going to be the first one to try and respond, but can anybody keep him alive? Unfortunately there for St. Clair, they definitely spread themselves out too thin. Where did the engagement happen? Junie is up here alongside Siri. And oh, there is a player right there going to try and take the snipe shot. Not going to find contact. Going to steal his card. The player does get away. Lasix would not be able to get revived. Looks like the ammunition did not quite go through. Okay, we're going to have the gasoline go out to just blow a hole through this entire building. Try to expose the player. Not going to find him. Still trying to fight here against these 2, maybe 3 players. See if they can give themselves a couple eliminations here. As, of course, the Lasix going down, they want to either try to get the card or at least try to get revenge on those that took them down. They don't have a whole heck of a lot of time, however. The storm will be coming within the next couple seconds. Loki might be able to kind of trap them in here, make the storm do the dirty work there for them, but I don't think they get credited for the kill if that happens. Of course, the moments that they blow through the walls is the moments that they have to reload. However, it does knock one of the players, and now it's a bit of a crapshoot. Who's going to be able to get it? There's, of course, going to be one going into the... Or one's knocked down, but can they find the other? Storm is going to make things awkward. Okay, they are going to finish off the one player and get themselves credited for the elimination, but there is still one more player right around the corner. Back and forth gunfights here in the storm of all places, and even if they win this, there is so much distance they have to run still. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to actually make out of this alive. Looks like the person they were fighting opted to run away, so it did give them a second to at least top off at full health respectively. But now they have to run quite a distance, and that player is still there. He's not going to make this very easy for the St. Clair squad to get into the safety of the next Eye of the Storm. I like the use of the trampoline, however. Going to put Siri and his partner all the way up on the high grounds. And in all of that chaos, they were able to get the reboot card for Lasix. They might be able to just make it. The storm at this point in the game does hurt quite a lot. It's basically ticking for 2 damage a second. Siri's going to make it out just fine. Junie probably just going to barely get there as well. Pop some cabbage and try to get yourself up. Submissions closed on the prediction, and it looks like 100% of you have no faith in the Saints making the top 10 here in this game. Well, I tell you what, they're actually, in theory, right on the doorstep of being able to do so. We'll have to see as the storm is getting smaller and smaller, and the Saints are kind of playing on the back foot, constantly having to react to the storm rather than be preemptively ready for it. Oh, the days of, I think it was last year's Fortnite meta, where basically you spent the entire game just fishing, and then you just stalled out, and when it got to the point where there was like the last 3 or 5 people, everybody would just stand still and eat their fish, and whoever lives through the storm longest was the winner. Low-key happy that that meta's kind of dead. It did make for some tense moments. But when those tense moments involve people just sitting there eating fish, I mean, it can only get so crazy. Got ourselves one. Oh, that snipe actually made contact, and a huge one there from Siri, actually knocking the player. They do get the elimination. However, I do think it, or no, it does actually count for it. So a huge play there from Siri, finding himself that snipe, 105 damage without shield. You're not living that one. Beautiful shot. Caught me off guard. Okay, so Junie moves on forward here, but gonna have to be a little bit careful. Took a little bit of shield damage. Nothing to be too concerned with as of yet, however. And of course, this is still tough. It is just the duo now for St. Clair, Siri and Junie to try and push themselves both forward as far as possible. A nice little pickup actually here for Siri, able to switch over and get an upgraded shotgun. Better than what he had before. Normally this late in the game you don't really see much much inventory switching unless you have yourself like a massive opportunity to breathe. So it's good that they were able to capitalize on it. You hate to see it. Now we're just about to enter the danger zone, it looks like, as there are forts all over the place. Siri double-checking that a tiny little fort there to make sure that nobody was trying to do anything sneaky there. There is still actually an unopened chest after so long. They're going to be able to get themselves a solid shotgun. That one's going to go into the pocket of Junie. And the subterranean assault shall continue. Gonna get nice and close here to this colossal coliseum. Doing a little dancing for the fans apparently as we now get ready for the defense. Sitting here inside the safety of the Eye of the Storm, but still not going to be able to sit here for very long, more than likely. It's probably going to get to the point where the storm is going to start going into itself, start moving around, making things very messy here for the remaining players alive still in this game. 35 players still alive as of this moment. Oh, they don't have to move too far, however. Just a little bit more to the north, and you actually see the Saints right away moving, and in fact, maybe trying to get themselves into position to pick up this care package. Wise on them to take the balloon down as well. Don't let this thing slow fall, because you're going to be absolutely contested for it as well. Just don't get hit in the face by it. They're going to build around it, take care of it. They're going to find themselves some decent artillery as well as... Or actually, he doesn't even want the legendary assault rifle. Going to give that over to Junie. But they're kind of figuring out which way they wanted to do. Looks like Junie would rather have the Scar in this game. Must be nice to have so much good items that you don't know which one to even pass on over. Few players have fallen since the new storm has came out to be 30 seconds before the thing gets moving. 31 players now left in this game. Saints sitting in a solid position to go into the end game here. Lots of weaponry, lots of healing as well. One thing they don't have a lot of though is materials. We do see Siri with 500 steel, but that is basically it. Just basically everything. Okay, you don't oftentimes get yourself a free point-blank sniper shot. Instantly taking down all of the shields, getting an extra shot onto them without shields as well. Put them very low. Point-blank here with another team. Gonna make that shotgun work for him. 80 damage off that one pump alone. Storm is going to get ready to move once again within the next 30 seconds, and this time, this is where the chaos happens. It's going to get nutty here with these last 30 players. Gonna try and get a little sneaky with it here, and they're gonna just absolutely just beeline it towards zone. They're getting shot at from above, of course. It does not put you in stealth, but it does make you a little bit harder to see. Junie, does he get out of dodge? He's going to be able to. A solid shot there for Siri. Finds the two players battling and gets the kill shot. So that's going to be elimination number 9 on the board here for the Saints overall. Point blank here with the player. Very scary stuff. Going to be building himself aside. Going to bounce himself away with the jump pad as well. But where is Junie? Did he follow? I think he did. It's just a little bit further away. Going to really try to abuse the sand here in this game. And actually, we see a lot of these sand piles just jumping about. How many players are here? I'm nervous that they're going to jump out and there's going to be like 7 players in one spot. Siri and Junie staying alive. Very close shot there with that shotgun. A good jump out of the way there from Siri to make sure he didn't get hit with the head. The Storm's just going to be constantly on the move. Got to try and find a self-position to keep yourself topped off, as most of these battles are going to happen in the Storm. Solid shot there from Siri to do 108 damage off the one pump alone. Can he find himself the finishing blow? Can he keep himself alive? Junie is here with the heals, going to keep everybody all topped up. As long as they don't take too much heat, they'll be in a solid spot to put themselves possibly into Victory Royale contention. 23 players still left in the game, but how many of them thought about the healing side of things? Some solid shots again coming here from Siri, really peppering someone down, but once again, stuck kind of reloading. This time, however, in a much better spot in regards to ammunition. We've seen them before, running out of bullets in the last end game section, spamming too many walls. Took his time a little bit more this time by. Off we go, gonna spring on forward. There's another team thinking about doing the exact same thing, pretty much right on top of the Saints. And oh my goodness, my boomer eyes cannot continue to keep up with the action here. There's so much building, so much shooting. Junie is still here alongside Sirius, keeping themselves going. We're now down to the final 10 members in this game. Even though Lasix went down pretty early in this round, the Saints been able to keep on going, make that elimination number 10 for the Saints this time by. They've hit their quota. They can't get any more points in regards to eliminations. They just have to survive now. They got the 20 points for the 10 eliminations. They just need to live. Now, who has the healing, though, in this situation? Normally, in this endgame scenario, you try to stack all the healing onto one player so they have the best chance once the Storm gets absolutely abysmal. We're almost at that point. 8 players still left in the game. Trying to time their movements here alongside the Storm. Players are falling, but not enough. Where did the car come from? How does somebody have a car here right now? And actually, I'll give the Saints credit. They're keeping themselves alive, but they're also keeping themselves out of combat. They do fall maybe a little bit too much. This is getting a little bit messy, though. Are they going to be able to survive? They do manage to get one more elimination and get themselves in. Can they stay inside the Storm without locking themselves in? Very scary shots from above. 2 players on the side of another team going to get the jump on them. Saints are going to place 3rd here in game number 6 and getting 20 points for eliminations as well. Much, much better game 6 for the Saints. Got down and dirty for game number 2. Or not game number 2. Game number 6. Not even close. What am I thinking about game number 2 for? Not a clue. But now, trying to take a look and seeing where our Saints stand as of right now. Looks like they might have, excuse me, might have broken back into the top 10 after that one. And it looks like, looking at the time, we have time for one more. 11 o'clock right around the corner, but we can squeak in one more game here before the PlayVS season or session does complete. Looking like that. Yeah, okay, for sure. They are matchmaking into one more. So, final round of the night. Right around the corner. We'll see how far the Saints can push this. They've made the top 10. Can they go higher? We'll figure out in just a moment.